Wow, we're live. Welcome back to United View. We did it. We made it, guys. We made it. Manchester United 2, Villarreal 1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer registers the first Manchester United win of the season in the Champions League. Dramatic. That is Manchester United. Ole talks about Man United DNA, late goals. I suppose he's got that thing right. But make no mistake, and of course DJ is with me. We will get into the game and we'll get into the nitty gritty because there is so much to get into when it comes to that game, my friends. Be sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We can talk about papering over cracks. We can talk about this. We can talk about not performing well. At the end of the day, DJ, does it necessarily matter because we got the win, or does it paper over the cracks? What did you think?
100% papers over the cracks. Definitely papers over the cracks. Not to be negative, it was great to see Ronaldo get his goal. It was great to see us win the game. I thought the players fought hard, and they gave everything, and that's what you want to see as a Manchester United fan. You want to see your team and your players literally giving everything, and they did to the very, very last minute. But that being said, again, I didn't see anything different from what we've been seeing over Ollie's tenure, to be honest, if I'm completely honest. Large parts of the game, I'll tell you what, the positives are the intensity was there. We tried to bring it to them. We was really attacking and left ourselves open at the back a few times, and that's what happens when you play risk football. And I will give Ollie that. I'll give him that. He had a bit of courage today to say, look, boys, bomb forward, try and get on these guys, because we needed to sort of set a marker down in this game. But with that being said, in terms of our actual style of play, and it goes back to that again. And for you guys that come here and you watch us break the games down and talk about the players and the management, you are going to be hearing that time and time again, I am afraid, unless Ollie changes it. The style of play today, again, there was nothing new to it. There was nothing new. I think players played well here and there, but when we really need the manager to sort of save the players from themselves, and what I mean by that is when players aren't really playing too well, when it isn't really coming off for certain players, that's when you need your manager to step in and change the system or change something. And he left it really late to change it. It worked, but going forward, that's not going to work all the time. And we really do need to start looking at how we are going to set up as a tactical, efficient unit. But we got the win. I'm happy. I am definitely happy. I know it might sound I'm not, guys, but I'm definitely happy. 3 points on the board for the Champions League. And yeah, we just need to move now and continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I was saying to DJ before we went live here that I take notes during the game, right? I'm doing lots of different things. I'm taking notes during the game, and I was writing, like when you're at work and someone sends you a bit of an email that slights you, and you go, right, I'm gonna drop a paragraph from them right now. And you're there, your fingers are working overtime, you're giving it like that. I was putting up real serious notes on Ollie. I'm going, this is the beginning of the end for him, because I felt if it was 1-1, look, we're not out of the Champions League if it was 1-1. But that would essentially mean we have to win our remaining 4 Champions League games. And from what I had seen, I was like, I don't see it. I just really don't see it, especially with how we're playing at the moment. I was like, it's the beginning of the end. It wasn't good enough. There was no pattern of play. There was no style of play, whatever. And then Ronaldo scores. And now I'm having this kind of internal conflict for myself. I'm going, well, does that change anything in terms of my perception of the game? And the answer is no. And look, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm glad we won. I'm a Manchester United fan. At the end of the day, all I care about is that we win, because that means we're closer to actually winning something, right? You can only win a competition if you're still in it at the end of the day. So I'll take that. I'll take the win. But it doesn't, for me, mask the fact that for maybe 90 minutes, because the last 5 minutes we were putting pressure on them. But, and again, I put in my notes, it's too late. It's never too late, obviously. I should know better. Shame on me as a Manchester United fan. I should know better. But for 85 minutes, Villarreal, make no mistake, they were the better side. They were the better side. And we won 2-1. But at the end of that first half, I don't know if you guys watched the match, with KG. Me and Flex were on at half time. And look, they could have been, and I'm not exaggerating here. People go, and you're talking rubbish there. They could have been 5-0 up. They could have been 5-0 up. I'm not exaggerating. They had far more clear-cut chances. Even that first goal by Telles, we talk about individual brilliance. It's a volley from the outside of the box, and Bruno just hits it over. And it's a technical finish, and it's a great assist from Bruno. But that's 2 bits of individual brilliance. Maybe it comes from the training ground. Maybe I need to give some praise to Eric Ramsey, the set piece coach, all that kind of stuff. Fine. But if Manchester United are relying on set pieces to equalise against Villarreal, that's a problem. That's a problem. And again, I'm not exaggerating when I say that Villarreal will find themselves completely aggrieved tonight, because they'll think, how on earth did we lose that game? How on earth did they lose that game? If I was a Villarreal fan, which thank God I'm not, but if I was a Villarreal fan, I'd be like, how did we lose? We should have been like 6-0 up at halftime. And again, happy we won. And Ollie, that's what he does as Manchester United manager. That is what he does. That is why when people have been talking about his future, whether you're Ollie in, Ollie out, and they'll go, oh, and what's your opinion on it? And I'll say, well, he will probably last to the end of the season, because we'll get results like that. Yeah. When it matters, maybe get a bit of luck. Individual brilliance. There is no pattern of play. There is no style of play. Individual brilliance, it'll get you through a game. And I don't just mean individual brilliance, by the way, by Bruno Fernandes or Tellez with a volley. I mean individual brilliance by David De Gea. David De Gea is the reason we won that game tonight. Make no mistake, Cristiano Ronaldo, make no mistake, Tellez, great volley. David De Gea, if he's not playing in goal, no shade on Dean Henderson, but the amount of saves he made tonight was outrageous, absolutely outrageous. And again, I think it does paper over the cracks. Do we care in the grand scheme of things? We won, we'll move on. But there are problems. There are problems. Super chat, though, from Farad says, Ollie, wow, takes off Pogba and Scott stays. Donny doesn't play. Did you see the thing about Donny, DJ?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see it because I was focusing on some of the KG stuff, the social stuff, and doing the notes and setting up this stream. And I'm terrible at multitasking, by the way. It's just madness. If I look flustered, that's why. But apparently he sort of threw his gum out or something like that. Apparently he threw his bib on the floor. He's not happy.
I wouldn't be either.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
I fully stand behind Donny, and I know we're kind of segueing a little bit, but I think it's
segue
good to talk about. Yeah. Honestly, I'm fully behind Donny van der Beek. He has been professional for 12 months and he's got nothing back from the manager. He's got a bunch of empty promises. He was signed on an empty promise. He was told he was going to play games and he hasn't been played. They've opted to go for injured players. They've opted to go for players that aren't playing well. They've opted to go for everyone but him to play. If I'm him, I'm looking for a move out of this club. Honestly, I am. And I think he would go with our blessing, with our applause and our good faith, because the way he has been treated, it is not good. It isn't cool. And, he's a professional footballer, one of the best, I would say, in his position at what he does. And he's a very niche player. He's very, very adept at sort of moving the ball. And we know his qualities, but I think it's time that he should go, because he's not gonna play. So
this is, and I don't necessarily agree with this point of view, but I try to play a bit of devil's advocate here. Yeah. Do you think, though, people that and I still support the manager. I haven't been Ollie in or Ollie out, because I've said Ollie will be judged at the end of the season, or if he goes out of the Champions League, then he'll be in a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. But do you think people that are, supporters of the manager or whatever, or even Ollie himself, would be like, well, I won the game, so I got it right because I won the game, because the results matter. And it is a results business. I get that. But on another day, like this past Saturday, he wouldn't win that game. And he won't always win those games. You don't play like that and win the Champions League. Put it that way, do you?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think this team, we play a high level game of roulette. So we have very good players, and what Ollie will do is there's no real tactics going on here. So you know what, my best players try and, again, individual brilliance, and it's roulette every time we go out there. I don't really see a systematic. I don't really see a systematic approach to games. Maybe in certain phases, depending on what's happening. But for large parts of our football, there is no sort of systematic approach. It's side to side. We go down the wings, and even then, when we hit sort of our wide players, sometimes the overlap is not there. Sometimes players aren't moving. So I'm thinking, what are they actually working on if nothing has changed from however long Ollie's been in the job, 3 years? Nothing's changed. And I think my point about Van der Beek would be this, is that I do believe that we would have been able to develop a style of play and a system where we could maybe win games a little bit more comfortably if he had been integrated from day one when he come to the club. It'd be very difficult now to integrate him into a squad now where we've got a style of well, we don't have a style of play. There's a bit sort of ad hoc, and
A
you bring
bit.
him in. Yeah, well, yeah, you know what I mean. So I do think if we would have embedded him from day one as part of the core group of your first 11, we could have maybe built a system not around Donny van de Beek, but with him included. And I think we would maybe see our games a little bit better. It's definitely papering over the cracks today. And I think we're realists, Owen. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not sort of away with the fairies. We're quite real about kind of what this team is capable of and what we're seeing, and if it's matching up. And it's not matching up at the moment. Yeah, we win games, but we will always win games like that all season. Doesn't matter if it's FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. We are going to be winning games like that of individual brilliance. And I'm not saying individual brilliance doesn't have any place in football. Of course it does. But for large parts of that game, it's scrappy. It's side to side. There's no system. All teams now know how to play against Manchester United. If you want a result against United, you put everyone behind the ball. Done. Simple.
Well, you mentioned about style of, with Donny not being able to almost integrate him into the team at this point. I think we saw, and I'll get to the super chat after this point. I think we saw tonight, and I mentioned this before, and I'm not saying Nostradamus, but I tell you what, my predictions have been on fire recently. I said 2-1 as well. I said I should play lottery. I should play lottery. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer refuses to go away from 4-2-3-1. So much so that when Cavani came on, people thought, right, Cavani, Ronaldo, two up top. Ronaldo played left wing at 36 years old. And don't get me wrong, I know I've been saying here on the channel he's no average 36-year-old because he's not, but he's still 36-year-old on the left wing of the Champions League game. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I'll get to the super chat quickly. His story says, Owen, Aaron Wan-Bissaka gives me Smalling vibes when he's running with the ball, but after seeing Dalot's frailties, I can't wait for him to return. To be fair, I will
100%.
agree with you. Like,
100%.
I've been, an advocate of saying, maybe give Dalot a chance. And I was saying in the preview for this one, like, it was a massive opportunity for him because if he played well, that was an opportunity for him to show Ollie, you know what? If Wan-Bissaka isn't up to scratch or he's off form, I can step in. I can take his spot. Maybe I can be better going forward. I can get crosses in the box for Ronaldo. Dalot was shocking tonight. I mean, I'll put it bluntly. He was shocking. I mean, he got done in the first half. And again, this is when it comes back to manager and tactics. But he got done at least like 3 or 4 times in the first half. And they should have scored from every single one.
Every single one.
And we spoke about this just before we went live. That, for me, their goal in the second half, that's when that's on the manager because everyone saw that. Everyone saw in the first half that every single time Villarreal got the ball, they went, right, put it down the right-hand side, get their guy, what's his name, Dan Juma to take on Dalot, skip past him, should score. De Gea's making unbelievable saves. And you would think, right, if you're a coach of any standard, you would go, right, that's an issue because something's not working there. I need to either make a change in terms of player personnel. I need to shift up my tactics. I need to get someone to stop the ball coming over. Whatever it may be, I need to stop that from happening. And he didn't. And then guess what happened? They scored. They scored from it in the second half. And that's basic. And that's when you go, okay, you can blame the player, and you can because the performance level wasn't good enough from Dalot. But when it's happening over and over again, you go, well, the players obviously just can't hack it. I need to change something. And he didn't. So that's why I would say the goal would be on Ollie. What do you think about that one, DJ?
Yeah, man. Everything that you're saying, I'm echoing it. I thought, you know what? Even the broadcast team, they clocked that. They were like, look, that's an issue. That left-hand side for Manchester United, left-hand side for Villarreal, they were causing all sorts of problems from minute one, and they kept going down that route, and it was a route of success for them. They were a bit wasteful in some of their chances, but they were still getting crosses into the box from that side. Dalot was not getting any help. And again, this is what I said just before. Our managers need to step in and save players from themselves. Like, Dalot is having a bad time. It might not even be an ability thing. It might just be this player is on fire today. Dan Juma is on fire today, which he was. And I do think Ollie dropped the ball there. I'm telling you, if he would have maybe changed it up a little bit, they might not have scored that goal. They might have scored in the game, but they might not have scored from that side of the pitch. They might not have scored that particular goal. So again, it's just I just don't understand why he persists to go through into the second half like that and not maybe, cater to Dalot a little bit, like change it up. Exactly what you said. Tell McTominay to pull over a little bit more to help him out. There was nothing. He was literally isolated by himself. He's getting skinned alive time and time again. They're having a field day on their left side, and that's where the goal ultimately comes from. So Ollie, man, like you need to do better. And we're not managers. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have my coaching badges. I don't.
No. And I
Yeah.
see some people in the comments say that, say, armchair quarterbacks, but we all are. Everyone
Yeah.
is. Sir Alex
But
Ferguson, when he's in the stand, he's an armchair
of
quarterback at this point
course,
because he's not
of
the manager.
course.
And I see John James here says we won. Please be positive. Yes, we
Yeah.
should play better, but we won. And look, I agree with you, John. We said it at the beginning of the video. Like, I'm happy we won. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm wearing a shirt. I'm wearing the jersey, right? I'm happy we won because we're still in the competition, and you can only win the competition if you're still in it. I'm very happy we won, and it was great. Ronaldo scoring the last minute. At last minute, Manchester United, that feels great. It fills you with adrenaline. But you can't objectively look at that game today and say we played well, because we didn't. Can we play better? Of course we can play better. My concern is against a side that could finish, and you will get that side if you get through this group in the Champions League, which we should be getting through. Make no mistake, if we're playing like PSG or whoever, Real Madrid, they'll score those goals. They'll score those goals. And that's the issue. It's not sustainable. You know, this squad should be challenging. Can it win the Champions League? Who knows, right? Knockout football once you get out of the group. But if you play like that, that isn't sustainable. That's my point. I'm very happy we won. Very happy we won, because that means that we've got a better chance of going through the group and better chance of, you never know who you get in the knockout stages and all that kind of stuff. But I think if you just blindly ignore how we played for 75, 80 minutes, then you're not doing the game justice, in my opinion. In my opinion.
And John James, I just want to reply to you directly. You know, I think it's just a thing of when we're as fans watching the football and watching the game, we see things, we pick up on things that we pick up on, maybe weaknesses. And we're thinking Ollie must definitely see what we're seeing as people that are watching the game as fans, without the coaching badges or the sort of training that Ollie has. We can see these glaring deficiencies, and the manager is maybe either choosing not to do something about it, or being very late with his decisions to do something about it, and then we see a goal from it. So, you know, and one other thing is that this is a recurrent theme. This isn't just one game where we didn't play well and we scraped through. Oh, brilliant! We can kind of overlook it. No, these are, honestly, I would say, deep-rooted issues within this team. Even as good as it is with all the players, there is still an issue within this team, and it is leading us to play on the edge like we do. Moment of brilliance, but for large parts, 80, maybe 70 or 80% of the game played terrible. So yeah, that's why we're speaking on it. But I get it. I get what you mean.
I get it, and that's what it's all about here at United. It's all about opinions, and like I said before, if you surround yourself with people that agree with you all the time, life gets very boring. You only grow and you only learn if you listen to other people's opinion, different people's opinion. It's a melting pot. Everyone's got them, and we're all armchair quarterbacks at the end of the day, right? And like Lionel says, Ollie got his changes spot on. Well, obviously, he did. Obviously. Super chat from Sam says, this is not Ollie's fault. Players were underperforming for most part of the game. Tellez and Dalot are so bad, and Villarreal recent form is impossible to beat. We broke their streak. Look, Villarreal are a good side. They're a very well-coached side. There's no doubt about that. And look, again, if we get through the group and we progress further in the Champions League, people won't care about this performance. All they'll care about is the result. But out of any game, this is why we do the match reaction. Out of any game, there are things to learn from and things to break down and things to digest. If I would be very disappointed as a fan if, you know, the Man United players came out after the game, and I don't know because obviously we're streaming right now, but if they came out after the game and Ollie came out of the game and went, oh, we didn't play well, but who cares? I'd be like, well, no, we care, because we still want to see improvement. Ollie can talk about the Manchester United DNA and the Manchester United style of playing. Yes, Sir Alex had a million last-minute winners. That's how we won the most famous Champions League victory of all time, was last-minute winners. I get that, but there are still issues there. There are still issues there. And is it completely on Ollie? Well, obviously some players couldn't pass it straight tonight as well, and that's a problem. But at the end of the day, like I said, in my opinion, the goal that we concede is avoidable because I think changes should be made. That's just that. And then again, that's only my opinion. Other people can have theirs. Ray says we're 20 minutes in talking about deficiencies. Can we discuss the amazing goals? Tellez strike from the set piece was fire, and Lingard's setup. Well, did mention that the Tellez strike was a great volley. I mentioned individual brilliance because it was. It's a great ball by Bruno. The set piece is obviously from the training ground. Credit to the set piece coach, Eric Ramsey. And again, great ball in. The technique on that volley is unbelievable. And if anything, you know, it's hardly even a clear-cut chance, is it? It's a half chance, if that, because it's a great volley. Yeah. Lingard again comes on, contributes to Manchester United winning the game, and that's desire. Ollie talks about desire, right? Talks about desire. and Ronaldo, that's why you have him in the box. That's why we brought Cristiano Ronaldo to the club. Again, I don't, and I know people will be like, oh, you're being negative because you're focusing on deficiencies and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm very happy we won the game, but I think you can't be blind and just be like, oh, who cares? Who cares if we won? You know what I mean?
And one other thing as well, I just think that if we're not sort of highlighting these deficiencies, where is there really going to be progress with this team? Because we'll have many nights like this, but then come up against Real Madrid's, Man City's, and absolutely get our asses kicked and handed to us. And then we're going to be like, well, where was the progression? I think if we can get over the deficiencies we're talking about, our actual wins and maybe the quality of the team be so much more sustainable and route to winning games. And no one has a given right to win anything, but the route to winning games will be a lot smoother, will be a lot more in control and look a lot more dominant. I think that's the thing. We're not looking dominant in these games where we should be looking dominant. And I think this United team under this manager at the moment, we've been found out. And I think that's what kind of irks me a little bit. Like, we've been found out. There's not a lot of imagination. But that being said, Tellez, amazing strike. And I'm glad that he got his goal today. I was saying to KG just before the game, I was on the phone in with him. And I said, Tellez today will show kind of, he's been chomping at the bit to get games and get back in form, and that might just set him off now. That goal will give him the confidence and set him off to play a little bit better. I thought he had a rough sort of 20-25 minutes, but he came back with a goal, and that strike is a wonder strike, to be fair. He used to do that at Porto. He used to actually do that.
It's a great strike. I mean, he takes set pieces, so he's obviously got a technical ability about him. There's no doubt about that. I mean, and look, if you want to put a positive spin on it as well, that winning games like that when you don't play well and winning games in the last minute, it's how you generate momentum at the end of the day. Because if you win games like that when you score a winner in the 96th minute and you come from 1-0 down and you didn't play well, that's how you install some kind of spirit in your side where you think, you know what, irrespective of how badly we're playing throughout this season, irrespective if we are 1-0 down or if it's 1-1 and it's the last minute and it doesn't look like we're going to score, we still can score. We still can get results. And that's a positive way to look at it. So there you go. There's a bit of positivity. Carl, super chat from Carl says, I can't wait until the day Donny writes a tell-all book on Ollie and his coaches. Well, you do get the impression that one day we're going to see that interview. You know what I mean? We're going to get that interview. Super chat just from Dexter, just contributes $3. Appreciate that, Dexter. But yeah, I mean, again, going back to the Donny situation, and I don't want to focus on it too much because, again, I know people will say, "Oh, you're focusing on negatives and all that kind of stuff." But well, I mean, I say, where do you see his future right now? But I mean, it's a bit of an easy question, isn't
it? Owen, man, it's sad, man. Honestly, like, I think he seems like such a lovely guy, very good professional. But everybody has their limits, Owen. And if what we're hearing, if what I've heard, what you've told me is true, I wouldn't blame him, to be fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I must say I haven't seen that, but I've seen other people say
that, if you think about it, and no offense to Lingard was on the verge of going. He was a player that we didn't want at this club at one stage. He was surplus to requirements. He wasn't part of the plan, and he's had a resurgence. And all fairness to him, he's come and proved himself and took games by the scruff of the neck and got us 3 points. But Donny's probably looking at that like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get a game. And it's looking like that. It's like he won't start at Everton. So when's he going to play?
No, but then again, if you want to look at it on the flip side of things, people will mock Ollie for bringing Fred on, but Fred contributes to the goal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's difficult, isn't it? So it's difficult.
And that's why with Ollie, I will say that, he is more in the know than we think. He sees these players on a day-to-day basis.
You would hope so. You would hope so, especially when it comes to the Donny situation. Yeah. I think the Donny situation comes down to a lack of flexibility at this point, in that he thinks that Donny is a certain position. Ollie has his formation, and for whatever reason, Donny's down the pecking order in that formation and he doesn't fit. Therefore, he's not going to play. Super chat from Vishal says, I think Ollie always has a strategic planning for the bigger teams. It's sides like Villarreal that I'm worried about going ahead in the Champions League. I think that's fair. I think fair. Again, I think our records, our record against the bigger sides, again, we almost do have a game plan because we'll just hit them on the break. We'll just sit back and hit them on the break. It's against sides with the low block that we struggle against, and we have to hope for moments like tonight. Ray, with another super chat, says, we don't have control of the changes of the changes. Dalot should play more today. Dalot not great. Maybe there are reasons people play and don't play. Here's more money. Well, I appreciate the money. But obviously, there are reasons why people play and don't play. And like DJ said, obviously we don't see things on the training ground, and we don't see. You hope what would Ollie see, or you don't see the stats that Ollie would see, but. Is what it is. Super chat from Andil says, don't know about you guys, but I saw player power today. We went a goal down and there was a deliberate change to a high press and we got on top. I don't know if that's necessarily player power in the fact that that's what we do. That's what we constantly do. Like, how many times did we see it last season? And we've already seen it this season where we go 1-0 down and then suddenly we wake up. Suddenly there is this sort of renewed energy and this focus of, oh my God, we might actually lose the game. Oh my goodness, we've got to actually start pressing them, or there's got to be a bit of energy, right? I mean, how many times have we seen that this year?
Yeah, man, we've seen that so much. And, you know, for people that know football, know football on a deeper level, that could even be a team psychology thing, because there are football psychologists that, you know, the players work with. Yeah, that might even be just a psychology thing within our team. However, I know Ollie did say, I think it was this week, he said that he doesn't want us to have slow starts anymore. He wants us to be like the last 5 minutes in the beginning of the game. And I think if United...
But we do, though. We start the game for 5 minutes. We do always press really well, and then it just disappears.
Yeah, it's like we do it for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, maybe get a couple of chances. If you don't bury those chances, the other team starts, you know, coming onto us, fighting back. And then the game sort of levels out into this weird sort of flat mid back and forth, and then if we go a goal down, and then we'll go for another effort and usually get the goal individual brilliance. That's kind of the blueprint to our games.
That's the blueprint. Or in the games when it goes really well, that 5-minute press at the start, we go 1-0 up and then we'll win the game like 3-0 because we got the goal, and then their game plan's already undone and they've got to come out. It's kind of like you said, the blueprint is press, back off, they score, then we go, oh God, we've got to actually start you know, chasing them now. We press a little bit more. 10 minutes left, get a goal, last minute winner, boom. That's how it always goes. Super chat from Dexter says, car is having issues 3 years. Do you keep going and hope for the best while oil spills, or take initiative and get a better car with no issues? Depends on your money. So it depends if it's a lease or you actually depends, Dexter. But I get your point. Ratham says, talk about Cavani. Okay, we'll talk about Cavani. Hey, show, guys. You're show, guys.
Owen, oh my gosh. Just about Cavani. Like, I hate to do this. I'm going to do it, guys. Martial, Cavani. I have to. What I saw Cavani do, you know, when the ball went, like, Ronaldo missed it, it went over him and it looked like it was going out. It was
going out, yeah.
And you see Cavani just tracking, fielding it. He wins the ball back. That is Manchester United to me.
You're going to say passion and desire?
Passion, desire. Ollie was loving it. But for me as a fan, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Martial's not doing that. He's not. Different player.
It's very different. But it's fair. Like, I saw the clip at the weekend of when Bruno missed the penalty. And the first thing Cavani's like clapping his hands, God, we can still score. We can still score. Yeah, and it seems crazy that you would single that out, going, "Oh, good for him," because you would hope that would be the benchmark for any player.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But it's true. He does bring that. He does bring that. Like, I'm a winner, and it's good to have that mentality on the pitch. And I just think, again, like we played better when Cavani and Ronaldo were on the pitch, both on the pitch. And I've mentioned before, like, how do you fit them in? I would ideally like to have them in as, like, you know, two strikers. But Ronaldo was shifted out to the left. And again, because I can see some people saying, you know, praise Ollie for the substitutions because we won the game. And look, so Ollie made subs and he obviously got them right because we won the game. I'm not going to discredit him for saying, I made wrong subs because we won the game, and his subs did change the game. I would have preferred them to be a bit sooner, but it's what it is. But again, I just when he brought Cavani on, again, that was the sealer for me of, okay, 4-2-3-1 is permanent. That's not changing anytime soon. 4-3-3 or 3 at the back, 5 at the back, however you want to spin it, ain't happening. Because he put Cristiano Ronaldo out on the left. And again, Ronaldo ain't going to have that. For the full season. That's not going to happen.
He's not going to have that. He's not going to have that. I think if anyone was going to go to the left, it's weird to say this shit. I don't know if you feel the same, but it looks like, and I might get skinned alive for this in the comments, but it looks like Cavani has a bit more legs than Ronaldo over a longer distance. I think Ronaldo is obviously the quicker out of the two, but over a shorter distance when he's in and around the box. But Cavani, I've seen, even when he's tracking back, he's not slow. He's not the fastest either, but he's not slow.
Look, energy for days, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy, a lot of stamina. So if we're gonna have one of them on the left, I would have picked Cavani. I would have picked Cavani to maybe drift out to the left because he played there for PSG when it was him, Ibrahimovic, and I think Di Maria was on the other side or whatever it was. But
yeah, I think what people will say, in fairness, about Ronaldo being on the left, a couple of times when he was out on the left and he was trying to take people on. I mean, still Ronaldo at the end of the day, but I was like, man, this is a real throwback. It's making me feel old. So I remember seeing that. I remember watching that live, being like, oh my goodness, Ronaldo's he still got it? Can he still do it? Because Ronaldo will still take people on even when he's a striker, but he'll limit it to like one a game. He'll give himself one. He'll wait for his moment and be like, okay, I've only got one in me and I'll do it. And I was like, man, I don't know if Ronaldo's going to do this for the whole game if we do start with a Cavani and then Ronaldo on the left. But in fairness, there were points when Ronaldo was on the left where he did just eventually just start drifting in and it just became a two up top. And I suppose that's when you need someone like a Tellez, or would it be a Luke Shaw that essentially has become a wing back or a left winger or whatever it may be, But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if because at some point they've got to start a game together, right? They can't just keep having Cavani come on, can they?
Yeah. I think having them as a two would really help, and especially with teams that aren't good aerially. And again, that's why again we're talking about game plans and stuff like that. That's why I would like to see Oli adopt certain game plans. Like I'd like for us to. For like when we're going up against a team that might not be good aerially, is to play Ronaldo, Cavani up top, really bully defenders and get the ball in the box. I want to see our wing backs and our wingers spamming crosses in. So then you can be like, I know what we're doing here. There's a clear game plan here. We're trying to win the aerial battles and etc. But they do need to start. I think in Europe, I think maybe in the Premier League, I think it might be a bit too fast to start them both up top as a two because of the speed of the Premier League. But I think definitely in Europe that could be an option, especially in the knockout stages.
Exeter says this good point. He says, well, to be fair, the interchangeable front three is the right way forward. Just the mid is turd, no service. But I think the point they're saying is that if you had, say, Cavani started up top and Ronaldo's out on the left, who's to say that they wouldn't just keep switching up the whole game? And at points become a two. And at points, someone just goes, okay, Cavani, but I'm going to be out on the left. I'm just going to float around. You can't, I suppose it's not completely fixed, right?
Yeah.
Super chat from JK says, thankful we have Varane. Imagine it was Bailly and Lindelof. God forbid Jones playing tonight. It could have been ugly. Mr. Champions League. In fairness, I thought Lindelof did all right. I thought he actually did all right. Varane is quality, but in fairness, look, Varane was good, Lindelof was good, but David De Gea was unbelievable.
Yeah,
that was David De Gea 2017, 2018. That is him at his peak powers. That's him winning games. You talk about good goalkeepers will get you so many points a season, or they'll win you games on their own. That's what a world-class keeper can do. And that's what he did tonight. It was unbelievable. Another super chat from Ray Diaz says, what's the plan for when Rashford comes back? That will be interesting. Seriously, who sits? What happens, DJ, when Rashford comes back? Because we talk about people on the left. You put Ronaldo on the left. What about Rashford?
Yeah, I do think that when Rashford comes back, I think Cavani may go back to the bench. Just depending. And it's no slat on Cavani. I think Cavani... If it wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United, I would have said Cavani starting. I wouldn't have cared who the other player was. It would be Cavani starting and whoever. But it's Ronaldo, so he's in our hearts forever. So Ronaldo would have to start for me. Rashford definitely on the left. On the right hand side, I would play Jadon Sancho. I'll give him a quick mention in a minute.
That's the point. I was going to say Sancho. What did you think?
I thought he played really well today. Worked hard, got back. Made loads of tackles actually in his own half. Bright, plenty of pace, good few tricks here. Just missing a bit of that end product. Could have had a goal slipped at the right moment.
With the slip, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it's coming. It's coming. It's progress. It's progress from what I've seen.
You can tell in his performances certainly. If you were gonna grade him, they would be getting 4, 5, 6, 7. They're getting gradually better. They are getting gradually better, which is what you would hope from. And again, it is weird with Sancho because he's been around for a while at this point, and he did have success at Dortmund and all that, and we spent a lot of money on him. You do forget that he is 21.
He's 21.
He's still 21.
Yeah, like
it's an adjustment going to any club, isn't it?
Exactly, and we're the biggest club in England. Yeah, we're Manchester United, so that pressure, he'll feel that pressure no matter how good he is. He'll feel that pressure, and I was happy for him, and it kind of showed actually because Ollie didn't take him off right until the last few minutes, maybe the last 10 minutes to go or whatever. And I think Ollie was pleased with his performance because it was kind of a complete performance. I seen him clearing it from our box, then he would carry it up the pitch, try linking with Ronaldo. He was linking well with Tellez at times. Had his back to go a little bit too much, but again, that's a tactical thing. But yeah, overall, I thought he played really well. There's more to come from him, and I was pleased with what I saw. But to answer the question from the last gentleman or lady, whoever it was, said what's going to happen when Rashford comes back. Rashford's definitely going to be our left winger. I think it's at this point now where Rashford is probably in the top 3 left wingers within the Premier League. Amazing when he's on, he's blistering. But I do think Sancho may then migrate to the right, and then it would be a battle between Sancho and Greenwood, who takes up. Just depends on the opposition, to be fair. But we've got options, and
that's what I was going to say. Make no mistake, they're good issues to have, aren't they? They are good issues 100%. To have. I mean, Greenwood played tonight. He didn't have his best game, but again, you're talking about his age. He's not going to be like world class every single game. The fact that his standard anyway is still very, very good. The fact that you could look at that Greenwood and go, maybe didn't have the best game. That shows his stand. That shows the level that we're already judging him at. In fairness, And again, people don't play. People don't just that consistency doesn't come for a while. But that's why we've got Sancho. That's why you've got Rashford. That's why you got Martial. That's why you got Lingard. I mean, Lingard absolutely put himself in a position to be like, well, I should start the weekend. Why wouldn't he? Yeah,
it's true. It's true. But you know what? I do think Jesse plays a little bit. I don't know what you think, but I do find it better when he comes on as a sub.
Yeah,
when players are tired and he picks up those little pockets of spaces and he links well, because his movement is so good. Like, that's one thing I will say about Jesse Lingard. His movement is really, really good off the ball. Finds those pockets of space. He can link up the play, and especially when teams are tired, they're fatigued, and they've had maybe, I don't know, Mason Greenwood or Jadon Sancho running at them for like 70, 80 minutes. Jesse Lingard is one of the best people to put on because defenders are tired. They're not always going to want to track the guy that's actively running and moving around. So, is he a starter for me? No, but definitely a sub, man. And he's proven himself, man.
Do you think Lingard would take that, though? Do you think Lingard is happy to be, I'm going to be an impact sub, but I'm still going to get game time? Or do you reckon he's like, no, look, if I'm coming off the bench and I'm affecting games, I'm scoring goals, I'm getting assists, should I be starting? I mean, it's especially when he's got a year left on his deal. I mean, what do you think? Do you reckon he will take that or not?
I think he will. But just due to the sort of like the stock of the players that are in front of him. I think he maybe argue if it was Martial getting game time ahead of him. But Sancho for 73, 75 million, he knows football politics. He's not stupid. Sancho is going to have to play a few more games than him. Yeah. Greenwood, at this point, Greenwood is an undroppable player for this Manchester United team of what he can offer when he's on. And Ronaldo, I don't even need to mention Ronaldo. Bruno, I don't even need to mention Bruno. So it's kind of like, when Rashford comes back again, what can he really say to that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where there is clearly a hierarchy in this Manchester United team.
Absolutely.
So I think he would settle to know that he's the man that Ollie turns to when stuff isn't going right. I think there can be solace in that. Yeah.
Chat from Samuel, and this was actually going to be my next point, so appreciate that. Talk about Pogba. Pogba got taken off for Cavani, and we mentioned that Cavani played well when he came on. What did you think about Pogba tonight? I think that it was a poor. It was one of those, look, because they obviously didn't play it on the left. Played as an 8, played in a deeper role, but certainly wasn't like, because it was McTominay and Pogba, certainly wasn't the case of Pogba doing what Fred would be doing if he was playing with McTominay. Yeah. He was playing higher up the pitch. Yeah. So at points you had McTominay just there. And I don't think McTominay had his best game at all either, And again, that would be tough. You could argue that maybe, there was so much space, you could barely cover it all. But at the end of the day, there are players that can do that. And I don't think he covered himself in glory. But what did you think of Pogba? Did you think he had his best game? Or is this going to be the drama once again now we're getting those players back, Rashford, or moving people out to the left? Pogba's going to have to come back in his natural position. Yeah. But did he affect the game enough today?
I don't think he did affect the game too much. But that's not to say I don't think he had a terrible performance. I think he did what he needed to do. He was combative in the midfield. He played some simple passes, played some really nice passing. But again,
But what does that mean? What does that mean? You know, did some good through balls in the first half. Villarreal still should have been like 5-0 up.
Yeah, but this is the thing with Paul Pogba. I do believe now he's at a point in his career, and it's going to sound a bit silly, that defending isn't something that he necessarily really wants to do. He can do it. I've seen him do it, and he's okay at it. But at the same time, I think he wants to be closer to the number 10. I think he wants to be right up, just behind the number 10, affecting the game in the final third. I think he's definitely a player that we do need in the final third alongside Bruno. I think when he plays deeper, his game does suffer. His attacking game does suffer a little bit in terms of when he does have the ball at his feet. And lastly, on him, from me, I think, again, it just kind of goes back to that his midfield partner. You know, when I see Matic come on, and we're probably going to touch on Matic in a little while. Yeah. When I see Matic come on, I'm seeing someone that he just controls it all, man. He controls it all. He picks his pass and controls it all. If Pogba had that, and we've been saying it's the narrative. We're going to keep building this narrative. I will anyway. If Pogba has that type of partner, a Matic a few years younger, you will see the best of Paul Pogba because he's not worrying too much about what's going on behind him and having to run back 20, 30 yards, you know? So his game suffers a little bit when he's deeper.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Pogba. And I think that's the criticism that he gets. And I think it is valid that Paul Pogba, for what it's worth, and it's not a case that he can't do it because he can, he doesn't want to defend. He doesn't want to, you know? And if he's asked to do it, he'll kind of do it. But you can see sometimes when he's running back to goal, he's not really run back to goal. You know, he's doing this sort of, you know,
just ticking the box on running back.
You know what I mean? Back. Well, I was there. I was there, you know. And I think like tonight, he did a couple of nice passes, long balls. But in reality, like I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that count for? It didn't count for nothing. You know, that we had, he did some nice through balls in the first half. I think I can remember one was specifically through like 2 defenders, whatever. But Villarreal still dominated that first half. Yeah. And when Cavani came on for Pogba, he affected the game more than Paul Pogba did for the entirety of the game, just by having a bit more of, you know, energy and desire about it. But he did. And I think it's now becoming, once again, it's the Paul Pogba conundrum, isn't it? And I don't think, like you said, that Paul Pogba conundrum gets solved until there is a partner next to him that can do either the running for him or the defensive work, the dirty work for him, because wherever he's been successful, he's had those players around him that will do that. Whether it's Vidal at Juventus, whether that's Kante for France, whether that's, you know, well, even at Juventus, he had, you know, Marquisio and Vidal and Pirlo behind him. He had a lot of people helping him out. You know what I mean? And that's just, again, at this point, and I know people get frustrated when we keep talking about the Paul Pogba thing and how can you get the best out of him, all that kind of stuff. But look, he's just not that defensive guy. He doesn't want to do it. Super chat from Zayn Miassi. Here he is. He's back. He was rolling on the floor all the time during the match view. He says, relying on Ronaldo again. Did your ticky-tacky football against Aubameyang, Saka, Smith Rowe, the Three Musketeers once we get a proper manager in. Well, you've kind of owned yourself at the end there, Zayn. You've gone, well, we'll beat you unless our manager's gone. What? I don't know. I don't know, Zayn. Zayn, I don't know. I think the reason why Zayn's been so proactive with us tonight is because he's got FOMO, fear of missing out. Because what's he doing? What are Arsenal doing on the Champions League nights? Well, they haven't done anything on a Champions League night for a long time. I don't even remember the last time. Can you remember?
No, I can't. And you know what? I wonder what he's going to say when we actually spank their team, because we're going to spank him, man. We will spank him. We will see.
You got to be careful.
Oh,
you got to be careful. I'll get clipped.
Didn't you hear? I'm part of Reckless FC now. Like,
I did hear that, man. This is the thing. So obviously, like, KG will be going live soon. He might even be live already for his sort of post-match thing. And last time, me and DJ, I was talking to you on one of these things. He was going like, "Oh wow, you know, let's not be reactionary. Ollie can't lose a game." 5 minutes later, I tune into KG and DJ's on the phone going, "Yeah, I think Ollie's got to go. Ollie out." I'm like, whoa. What's happened here? What's happened here? You've changed. Flip-flop FC. I couldn't believe it.
Flip-flop FC, man. You know what it was? As I said on there, after we was all live, I had a drink of water. I put my feet up and I...
Drink of something. Oh, he's gone. Now he's gone. See, this is what happens, guys. DJ he gets put to the stove and then he disappears. Unbelievable. Flip-flop FC. and then I try to hold him accountable. Gone. Shocking. Oh, he's back now.
I'm back. I'm back.
I'm trying to say to you, defend yourself. You leave.
Yeah, no, you know what? I sin bin myself just then, but no, honestly, it's just a thing of I really sat back and I really thought about kind of just overall, what have I seen in the last 3 years to suggest that Ollie's the guy? And I'm not gonna lie, I just saw the same mistakes. I said a few of them today. Like it's just the same mistakes from him, Owen. Doesn't seem to be any improvement in terms of our tactical play, in terms of our gameplay, in terms of our style of play. All seems very. It gets a bit desperate. It does. It gets a bit desperate. It's like, oh, Mason, can you pop up? Sancho, can you pop up? Ronaldo, can you pop up to do something very individual? And I think Gary Neville hit the nail on the head the other day in his sort of analysis of Manchester United. I think it was just, he said it spot on. There was no agenda behind it. It was just harsh realizations about this team. But Ollie's got time to turn it around, so we'll see. But I just don't see him doing it. So. Yeah.
Well, I think we've done a good job here. First 20 minutes, we're quite analytical and not overly negative, but saying, look, happy we won. Does paper over the cracks. Make no mistake about it. 85 minutes, we were awful today.
Yeah.
We were. But I think second 20 minutes, we've been like, look, but what does this mean going forward? It's momentum. It's a win. Still in the Champions League. Still should get through this group. Win your games at home, win a game away, you'll get through. So that's I think we've been fairly balanced here. Before we wrap it up, David Lee says, can we have a man of the match on here? Owen, DJ, man of the match? I think it's an easy question.
Cristiano Ronaldo, man.
Oh, come on. You're kidding me?
Ronaldo.
You said man of the match is Cristiano Ronaldo?
Cristiano Ronaldo, man.
Well, I mean, I'm not just listening from a goalkeeper's unit, but you said David De Gea isn't the man of the match.
I think, Yeah, no, actually, because if David De Gea doesn't save those saves,
Flip-flop FC, DJ, unbelievable.
Ollie on Twitter is going to be getting ripped if David De Gea doesn't save any of those. So
I can't believe that I've said that's an easy answer, and you've got it wrong.
Cristiano, though, isn't it? You can't. That's not even a wrong answer. Give a shit
about Cristiano Ronaldo scoring the last minute goal. It could have been 7-1 down, DJ.
True, no, that's true.
Cristiano Ronaldo can score his last minute. Cristiano Ronaldo can score his last minute goal all he wants.
Recency bias. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter if they've scored 7 goals. Unbelievable. This is why you got to have a goalkeeper on here, guys, because otherwise it's just a slander. It's slander.
True. It's true.
As goalies get overlooked all the time. Ethan Johnson says David De Gea is man of the match. It's not even close.
Ethan, I apologize.
He says DJ bottled it. Wow.
I bottled it.
I didn't say it. I mean, if that's not a sin bin, I don't know what is. But look, guys, as always, be sure to smash a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Obviously, Flex was at the game tonight. I don't know if you heard him at half-time when he called it.
Didn't.
He was not happy.
He weren't happy.
He was not happy. He was not happy. So it will be interesting, of course, to see on the fan views what people said have been saying that were at Old Trafford tonight, because I couldn't really tell. But I couldn't really tell what the atmosphere. I didn't feel like it got completely toxic in the ground.
No, but it didn't. There was hope. There seemed to be hope, and I did like the response from the team. The team were fighting. Clearly, they didn't down tools. I had one job. I bottled it. I did just one job. I do think that the team responded really well. They knew they had to win this game today. They were fighting to the very last minute. I think even Villarreal were doing trying to hold the ball for too long, delay, taking free kicks, just doing weird things, just trying to slow the game down. But
well, Flex was saying that apparently there was 14 Villarreal fans in the whole ground. Apparently there was it was all Man United fans. So again, it'll be fascinating to see what they're saying. People obviously, being in the ground is different to watching it on TV, because obviously you see the whole pitch and you feel the atmosphere, you see different things. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what they say, guys. But look, as always, as I mentioned, be sure to smash a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You won't miss any of those fan views when they come out. We'll be back Saturday. They come thick and fast. I can't believe we're playing at lunchtime, by the way. I thought they changed that.
I know.
Are they allowed to do that? That's bullshit.
They do whatever they want now, don't they?
They do what they want. Not good enough. Anyway, we'll speak with you again very, very soon. Peace.